Hello to every crochet lover, my name is Dasha and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute adorable rose bag. Since my boyfriend and I got engaged this August, I started to look for ideas on how to make bridesmaid bags, and this is how this project was born. In total this bag took me about 8 hours to finish, so if you're really motivated, you can make this bag even in one single day. You can also adjust the size of the roses, you can make them smaller or bigger and it will adjust the size of the bag. Now let's move to the materials. For the materials you will need about 400 grams of cotton yarn or acrylic yarn. Next you will need hook number 4, marker or stitch markers, and if you would like to make a lining for your bag, you will also need some fabric for it, sewing pins and sewing needle, the ruler and the scissors. Let's make magic ring first. I made it like this. 1, 2, 3 spins over my finger, then chain 2. 1, 2, and now make 12 double crochet into magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now make a slip stitch into your first double crochet. Like this, and close the magic circle. For the first row, chain 3, skip these 2 stitches and work single crochet into this one, like this, and repeat 6 more times. Chain 3, skip 1 and single crochet into the next stitch. When you have made 6 arcs, make a slip stitch into the last stitch of the row. Now we have 6 arcs made of 3 chains. Now let's create our first row of the petal. Right here you can see 2 stitches. So now you have to make a slip stitch into this one and into the next one. And you can see that our arc left behind those slip stitches. Chain 2 and work 4 double crochet into the same space. This is our first petal of the first row. Now find single crochet under the next arc and work single crochet into this stitch. Now let's move to the next stitch under the arc and work 5 double crochet into this arc, into the stitch, I'm sorry. Go to the next arc and make a single crochet. Now find the next arc and next stitch and work 5 double crochet into this space. Now work single crochet into this last stitch. Now we have to add one more petal, but we have no space left. So what should we do? We should work 5 double crochet into this small stitch from the previous row, and then work a slip stitch into the next one. And now work a slip stitch into the very last stitch of this round. Okay, our first round of petals is done. We will have 5 rows of the petals in total, and this is where our first one. Now turn your work so the wrong side of the rose is facing you. Find the first and the nearest arc to our hook and work a slip stitch right into that arc. Now work 2 chains, 1, 2, and work 4 double crochet into the same space. And now work a single crochet into single crochet from the previous row. And now you have to work 5 double crochet into this space. And single crochet into single crochet from the previous row again. Repeat this step of working 5 double crochet and 1 single crochet into the remaining arcs. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have to repeat this step 4 more times into the remaining arcs. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're done with your last petal, work slip stitch into this chain. It was a slip stitch from the previous row when we started our second row of the petals. Now you can see that I mark some of the stitches of the row. In these stitches we are going to connect next row for the next petals. If you're not sure about where your stitches are, you can put a stitch marker every time you put single crochet between the petals, because it's literally the single crochet between the petals. Still with the wrong side facing you, make chain 4. Now work a slip stitch into the first marked stitch from our petals row. Like this. And repeat the step 5 more times, connecting our chains with these marked stitches. When you're done with the last chains, work a slip stitch into the base where you started your first chains. And turn with the right side facing you. Find the first arc that we just made and work a slip stitch into this arc. Then chain 2. Work 5 double crochet. The first petal of the third row is done. Now you have to work single crochet into this space, into this stitch. you can already mark this stitch, so you don't gonna miss it, or put a stitch marker as you wish. Now work 6 double crochet into the next arc. And single crochet into the single crochet from the previous row. You can mark this one as well. Repeat this step 4 more times, making single crochet into the space between the petals and working 6 double crochet into the arcs. When you finish a row of the petal, work slip stitch into the base of the first petal of this round. Now turn. I am marking these stitches so you can see where we should make our slip stitches, but if you are comfortable to see them without marking, you can do this without marking. Now chain 5 and work slip stitch through a single crochet from a previous petal row. Repeat 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you made your last chain 5, work slip stitch right here. For the next row of the petal, we are not going to turn, and we are going to work with the wrong side facing you, because if you're going to work only with the right side facing you making the petals, the pattern will be the same and the flower will not look natural, so I prefer not to turn sometimes. Work a slip stitch into the first arc. Chain 2. This counts as a double crochet, and work 6 double crochet. Now work a single crochet atop of a slip stitch from the previous row. Now work 7 double crochet into the next arc. And a single crochet atop of the slip stitch from the previous row. Repeat this step 4 more times, making 7 double crochet into the arcs and 1 single crochet atop of the slip stitches from the previous row. When you finish the petal row, work slip stitch into the first stitch of the row. Still with the wrong side facing you, chain 6. And work slip stitch into the single crochet from the previous row. And repeat this 5 more times. I just finished my row by connecting my chains with a slip stitch. And now let's turn. So the right side will face you. We are going to work on the last petal row. To do this, find our last arc we just made and work a slip stitch into it. Chain 2, counts as a double crochet, and work 7 double crochet into this arc. Single crochet into the slip stitch from the previous row. We can also mark the single crochet we just made. And repeat this step 5 more times. Now I'm done with my last petal, and let's connect it with the first one with a slip stitch. So our rose is almost done. Now turn your flower so the wrong side is facing you and make 7 chain. find the single crochet from the previous row and work slip stitch in it. Chain 7 again, slip stitch. Repeat 4 more times. Close the row with a slip stitch. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now your first row is done. We left this 7 chain arc so we can connect our flowers later with them. In total you should have 16 flowers. So repeat this step with this flower 50 times more, and then we will mat and I will show you how to connect the flowers into the bag. Once you have finished your flowers, now let's connect them. First of all, I will connect the one side of the bag and then I will connect it to the other side of the bag. But pay attention that for the other side of the bag, we don't gonna need these 2 flowers, as these 2 flowers are gonna be our side flowers and they're gonna work for both parts of the bag. I'm gonna connect flowers using slip stitch, moving from the bottom part to the top, connecting the flowers in the order that's shown on the picture. We were making 7 chains to the final round of the chains, so you have to make 7 slip stitches to connect one flower with the other one. With some flowers you will need to connect them and then return to the center of the join to keep working. To do this, simply slip stitch back to the center and then continue connecting the other sides. Now this is how our first part of the bag looks like. We also need to connect this, but we can make it later. And keep in mind that these flowers are gonna be like this. So we're gonna attach them to the other side of the bag as well. For this moment, if you want to make a lining, you should stop and make it right now. Fold your fabric and place one side of the bag with its bottom along the folded edge. Take a marker and add in 1 cm for seam allowance, draw the outline for the lining. I'm just putting marks first and will connect them with a ruler later. In this video I'm making a curved shape, but I recommend cutting a rectangle, it will fit better into the bag. And don't forget to add an extra 1 cm on the sides. Once you cut your lining, fold the edges twice and pin them in place. Repeat the same process on the other side and sew the edges. I'm using a sewing machine, but it's perfectly fine to do it by hand. Next, repeat the same steps on the top edges of the lining. The next step is to fold the lining so that the seams are on the outside. Pin the lining in place and sew along the sides. We should place the lining with the wrong side facing the wrong side of the bag. But before sewing it into the bag, let's join the rest of the roses to the other side. At some point, you also might be more comfortable connecting the flowers with putting the bag inside out, and that's absolutely okay. When you are done connecting the flowers, place the lining inside and pin it. Then take your needle and carefully sew the lining in. Now let's start making the handle for our bag. Take your top 2 flowers and connect them with single crochet across 6 stitches. Now chain 1 and turn. Work single crochet across and repeat this step until you're satisfied with the length of your handle. Once you reach your desired length, connect the handle with 6 stitches to the top of the 2 flowers on the other side of the bag. You can leave your handle like this if you want, but I decided to close it by holding it together and joining the two sides with slip stitches. Don't forget to cut the yarn and weave in the yarn tails. And ta-da! Your bag is done! Thank you so much for watching this tutorial until the end. I would love to see your version of the flower bag. Feel free to share it with me. Follow me on Instagram for more content and see you in the next tutorial. Mwah! Bye!